No.
What? You didn't clear.
Freezy pop! All right, so we're going to do some more honest trailers. This will be for Star Wars, the
First one.
original trilogy. We'll do these in threes.
Okay. Number 4.
Yes, number 4, episode 4, A New Hope. We were going to do a Star Wars themed Christmas special. This is what you get. So, just briefly, do you have anything to add? As we do this, we'll say a little something about the original trilogy. When you first saw it, how you're introduced to it, I'll let the elder speak. Asshole.
No, like I said, it was obviously back in the day. It was one of the first few sci-fi things that I was introduced to. So it's always there. There's always going to be the good versus the bad elements. The storyline always follows a lot of historical things, mostly Asian. Not just standard knights, but the Jedi Knights are more like samurai, and there's always father to son. So there obviously has, with the Jedi, everything, the midichlorian count, it's a family line that runs through. But
You had to bring up midichlorian.
didn't count. Tested your blood. But yeah, overall, like I said, the first 3 that I had the opportunity to watch were done very well for what they could in the era that they were done.
Yeah, 77.
Yeah, 77, 78 for the first.
Then 80. 79 for no 81.
I think it was 81 for the second one, because I remember actually we had actually gone with our parents to a friend's house, and obviously we've got a 4-year gap between me and my younger brother. So me and my older brother actually walked down to the theater down the street and watched The Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
While they played. So
No, hey, that's,
it was, nothing wrong with that,
no.
because that was a good movie too. But yeah, I like the New Hope.
Dan?
I watched it with my parents in the 90s on VHS. So.
Good old VHS.
Hey, as we're looking at this,
versus you did well.
as we're looking at this, we're on the honest trailer for Star Wars. We've got Attack of the Clones on the right, and we got a very interesting screenshot on the left with an animated older Spock from Star Trek Into Darkness, and the hot chick from the movie. Yeah. That was the Admiral's daughter.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, Carol Marcus. I was a Star Trek guy. My dad, not the original. Well,
What's the trouble with tribbles?
I take that back. I always say that the original series was not introduced to me. The original movies was when I was first introduced to anything sci-fi related. And so Star Trek was always the first thing. And then my dad's like, oh, if you like Ed,
Check this out.
I had the VHS, Star Wars, and I fell in love with Star Wars. They were both equally loved by me. I wasn't one of those ones where it's like, well, Star Trek is and then Star Wars is back when Toys R Us existed, they had the micro machines of the ships of Star Trek and Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I remember when, they had the huge boxes that had like 150 of the ships. You remember those?
Yep.
My dad would get me those, and I would just have the Millennium Falcon versus the Enterprise, and then the Klingons and the Romulans would team up with the Imperials, and just same with the action figures.
Bet you the Enterprise can't make the Kessel Run in 12 hours.
Spit take. Should have taken that sip. Oh, you don't think I'm bringing that back? So yeah, it was all secondhand, nothing in the theaters up until 1997 when I did finally get to see all three of them, the special editions. Right.
Yeah.
Han Makichize. So
Cheesy.
McClunky.
Part two.
So I guess we'll go ahead and that's everything. Yeah. All right. So we'll comment in between if the mood strikes. Anybody wants to jump in, please feel free.
From the once masterful director who just couldn't leave well enough alone comes the special effects blockbuster that transformed the entire film industry into an assembly line for special effects blockbusters and action figures. Star Wars. The first one. We are not calling it A New Hope. Right along with some of film's most iconic characters, surrounded by film's most iconic props and designs, in some of the most iconic locations ever, to the point where every single person, place, or thing on screen has at least a 1,000-word Wikipedia article about it. Did you know that these guys are called Jizz Whalers? Whalers. Lead heroes like Princess Leia, the most interesting of the two human females in the entire movie.
Right?
Han Solo, a real Han Solo type. Obi-Wan, a wise Jedi master who doesn't remember the droid that saved his life several times.
Don't seem to remember ever owning a droid.
The droid's conscious
But he never
beings
actually
with
owned it.
free will, who are bought and sold as slaves.
You think they'll melt us down? Please don't deactivate me.
A whiny space brat.
I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Kinda reminds me of
Power
someone.
converters is code for strippers.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault.
There's nothing I can do about it right now.
I hate them.
But they're gonna kill her!
It's not fair.
It just isn't fair.
Wait, so Hayden Christensen's acting choices were intentional? Whoa. Mind blown. Together, they'll go on one of the most epic space journeys of all time that would have been totally unnecessary if anyone had email.
I have placed information vital to the survival of the rebellion into the memory systems of this R2 unit.
To take on the evil empire with an army of clumsy idiots. Led by the most threatening villain of all time, Darth Vader. Until you hear his original voice.
Start tearing this ship apart piece by piece until you find those tapes. Find the passengers of this vessel. I want them alive.
Not so epic now, are you, bro? Return to a time when technology
Yeah.
forced George
Rest in
Lucas
peace,
to
sir.
collaborate with other people as he teams up with masters in sound design, score,
Yes.
editing,
Yes.
and practical visual effects to deliver
Yeah.
a near-perfect movie that he's made progressively worse with each special edition. Because if there's one thing the original Star Wars wasn't missing, it's poorly rendered, out-of-place CGI animals filling up every square inch of the frame. Dude, come on, get out of the way. Ugh, I can't even see the movie. Relive all the parts your nostalgia goggles keep you from admitting were kinda dumb. Like this guy in a bargain bin werewolf mask. The lightsaber battle where two old geezers gently poke at each other. And the most over-the-top Freudian finale of all time.
Luke is the best bush pilot in the Outer Rim territories.
Look at the size of that thing.
That came from behind. Should be able to penetrate the outer defense. Almost there. Almost there. Didn't go in.
Giggity.
Luke, that speed would be able to pull out in time?
So whether you're an old man who can't move on from a 38-year-old movie for children, or a contrarian kid who thinks he's being edgy when he says the prequels were better, one thing is for sure. Han shot first.
McClunky.
Starring Skywalkers in Flight, Beats by Braid, Star Ford, Genuine Class, Dog is my co-pilot, Weezer, Sporkins, aw, that's just me, and Oscar and a trash can, Satan, Blue Mill, and Nazis in Space, Joseph Campbell's Star Wars. As bad as we all want a real lightsaber, well, let's be realistic. We'd cut off our own hand in a week. The screen junkies you know it.
Just hop right on into Empire.
show.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
The greatest film of the original trilogy, one of the best sequels ever made, and the movie Star Wars fans love the most.
Best sequel,
Just so happens to be
middle
the one where
movie of
George
this
Lucas
entire
was involved
franchise.
least. The Empire Strikes Back. You love the fun-filled space adventure where evil is vanquished and everyone gets a medal. Yay! Now, watch the rebellion get crushed, the comic relief get frozen, and the ultimate evil tell the hero, who's your daddy?
I am your father.
Spoilers!
So dark, it's become the lazy shorthand for any time a franchise turning into the dark side.
I was saving that joke for the sequel.
Yeah, well, this is actually The Empire Strikes Back of honest trailers. So there, yeah. Witness a movie full of excellent directing, great acting, brilliant dialogue.
Because Lawrence Cass.
Stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
Gorgeous music and iconic moments that will
That is
stay
our
with you for
word.
a lifetime.
I love you.
I know.
But, let's see. What the nitpick here? Sometimes they pronounce Han Solo's name different.
Han. What about Han? Han, get up here. You think that after what you did to Han, the world
Haha! You suck, perfect movie. This is gonna be a tough one, isn't it? Revisit all of your favorite characters 3 years after they shot their balls into the egg hole. Like Princess Leia, who's proof that Lucas either didn't have these movies planned out as much as he claims, or he was into some pretty weird stuff. Han Solo, a charming smuggler who's not afraid to make a point with his hands.
No. I can arrange that. Put them back together. You know where Commander Skywalker is? That's right. My friend's out in it. Wait a second. But you... Punch it. Shh. Turn her around. Stand by the manual release.
And Luke Skywalker, the magical moisture farmer who's no longer a whiny brat. Now he's just dumb. Whether he's crashing his X-Wing into a slough, getting tricked into a hole, running out of a warm cave to freeze to death, losing
That was me
fight
this
to
morning.
slow moving pieces of furniture, or ignoring the advice of the last living Jedi.
I don't know why I looked at him. Bless you. I should have looked at you.
Well, at least it was fair.
Whoops.
Where sequels and reboots coast by on nostalgia alone. Enjoy
I
the
immediately
sequel
caught
that
myself
takes
'cause I looked at him
everything
and
you
went,
love about Star Wars and actually builds on it, adding all new worlds like Hoth, a planet made of ice, Dagobah, a planet made of snakes, and Bespin, a planet made of matte paintings. Each one of them full of amazing all-new characters, like Lando Calrissian,
Lobot.
a gambler who won a mining company in a card game, I think. Boba Fett, the biggest
lifetime
movie
supply
badass
of
with the
malt
least amount of
liquor.
screen time. And of course Yoda, the Jedi Master who trains Luke in the ancient art of
Backpacking.
entering spooky caves, not trying anything,
There is no try.
and flipping for no reason. Wait a second, these pointless gymnastics remind me of someone. That's where the prequels got all the dumb flipping around from? Whoa, mind blown. So strap in for the Star Wars movie that's so good they barely touched it in the special editions, representing
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
absolute
true.
peak of the franchise when the prequels could still be good.
Then we go back 20 years, and we do the story of young Darth Vader and the young Alec Guinness character. And in the third film, which
Whatever his
precedes
name
Star
was.
Wars, you see.
Like a prequel.
That's right.
They had an actual end date in sight.
If Lucas makes all 9 episodes, the Force may be around until 2001.
And people didn't take these make-believe characters so freaking seriously.
Han Solo and Princess Leia and the Wookiee and C
3CPO.
C3PO.
The Wookiee. 3CPO.
3CPO.
Ray's mom or Anna. And
honor
Pointo. Worst Kinder Egg ever. Gambino. The Game from the Holiday Special. The hardest level in the Rogue Squadron.
Yes.
That was the best part of
And
the,
Oh, yeah.
the video game.
run, jump. I can be your backpack while you run.
You know where they got that from, right?
Yes,
Strikes
I love that
Back
song.
Of Star Wars. Like father, like son, I guess.
We'll get there.
He is the most iconic villain of all time. Now,
No.
we'll show him the true power of the dark side.
They say girls want a guy that reminds them of their dad. That's why I've been using my vibrator so much.
I'm a grown man. You hear that, Obi-Wan? I've got the high ground now. Me, you dick.
A tough black exterior with a soft, weak white man inside. You're not a Sith. You're Drake.
Screen Junkies.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord! Oh Lord! Well, it is part of the well.
No.
And you said you've never seen it, right?
Which one?
The holiday special.
Nope.
And you've never seen it, right?
No.
Well, guess what, boys? This is between the original and Empire.
Okay.
Before Solo milks your nostalgia for the original trilogy dry, discover 3 spin-offs that took everything you loved about the old Star Wars movies.
I love you.
I know. And gave you something, let's just say, different.
Stir, whip, beat, stir. That's not right. I'm sorry.
The original Star Wars spin-offs. Kick off an evening of crap with Caravan of Courage, the Ewok movie.
I used to
set before
love
the
this
other
when I was a
Ewok
kid.
Movie, but after the movie that was 30% Ewok, embark on an adventure with no one's favorite unblinking murder bear as they team up with another creature that's better in small doses, a kid. Together, they'll search for her missing parents with her brother Mace, a Skywalker knockoff with the hair of Luke, and the acting of Anakin.
It looks like the monster's something real big. Where is it?
And of course, Tinkerbell?
I think she giggles.
Wow, they were planting the seeds of that Disney buyout really early. If Caravan of Courage is The Hobbit, then get ready, because Battle of Endor is Game of Thrones. Without question, the darkest Star Wars movie ever made, where most of the Ewoks are slaughtered in the opening scene. The 4-year-old's whole family is massacred.
My family, brother dead. I'm all alone.
She's kidnapped by a dragon and has to spend the rest of her life getting yelled at by Wilford Brimley.
I don't want you here. Get out. Go on. Get out.
That'll screw
Give it
someone's life.
diabetes.
Holy crap, this is a Captain Phasma prequel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Grown-up things.
But
No,
those are
paint
just
this thing
warm-ups for the
chrome
main
before you use
event.
again.
Watch the original Star Wars trilogy lose its final shred of dignity in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Was Chewbacca wearing a
So
onesie?
bad, George Lucas wanted it destroyed forever. And that guy made Attack of the Clones. Wow.
What do you know?
Sit through this vaguely Star Wars themed variety show.
Dexter
where the only
Jetster,
variety
that's
is
his
the
name.
level of drugs they were on when they wrote it. Whether it's a song from Mos Eisley Cantina or B. Arthur.
Just one more round, friend. Then a homeward bound friend.
A song from 70s soft rock titans Jefferson Starship. Or a song from Princess Leia while Harrison Ford regrets all of his life choices.
A day of joy we all can share.
Now that's the face of a man who has a really bad feeling about this. In between the talent sections, enjoy a tiny scrap of story tying it all together, where Chewie has to get home to his beloved Itchy, Mala, and Lumpy for Life Day, which is like Christmas but hairy
Real
and
names.
vaguely wicked. The Empire is on high alert thanks to an overdubbed scene from A New Hope,
I want the rebels located and identified.
but with no help from Luke,
Where's Chewbacca?
no help from Leia,
Send either Chewbacca or Han Solo to the screen, please.
and actual help from one half of the honeymooners, Art Carney.
I brought you that proton pack. You know, the what's this?
The Ghostbusters?
The thingamabob.
Chewie's family will spend over an hour horrifically groaning at each other while you try to maintain your
Yep.
last shred of sanity.
No subtitles, none.
So melt your brain with 3 Star Wars films so awful, you'll never complain about the prequels, The Last Jedi, or Solo.
We're getting there.
Because no matter what Disney decides to throw at us next, there's no way it will be as bad as Chewie's dad watching VR porn in the middle of the living room. Did I just dream that?
Nope, it
no,
happened.
No, there it is. That was real.
Oh, we are excited, aren't we?
Oh, geez. Turn it off. Turn it off. Starring Muppet Baby. At least Warwick Davis got paid.
Right?
The grandpa from the
Wizard.
You're a hairy
Dying
wizard.
from his
Rugrats.
origins.
Space Vixens. No, that's for when you kids get to bed.
Best I ever had.
I'm sorry.
Magnificent.
He didn't get that. I have to rewind it for him.
Excited, aren't we?
Oh, Jeez, turn it off. Turn it off.
Giggity.
Starring
Giggity.
Muppet Baby.
Yes.
At least Warwick Davis got paid. You're a Harry. Wizard. Diabetes Origins.
Awful good pipes. Best I ever had.
Oh. Magnificent. Wilford Brimley dropping the F-bomb in a TV movie for children? Jefferson Star Destroyer. Malibu Boo. Carrie Fisher giving 0 shits. Lumpy Space Prince. And he did it
All for the Wookiee.
What? The Wookiee.
Star Wars.
So you can
the
take that
first
cookie
sellouts.
and stick it up your.
The weirdest thing about these movies is the first appearance of Boba Fett.
And a tuning fork.
I take it you have no love of the Empire.
I don't.
Follow me, friend. Settle down.
Bing.
All they do is eat.
That just reminded me of the Dragon Riders from Pirates of Dark Water.
Yeah. Return of Jedi. Return of Hayden
Today's
Christensen.
episode is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. A New Hope blew people's minds. The Empire Strikes Back challenged what you thought a sequel could be. Now, the last chapter of the original trilogy takes its place in history as the third one. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. From creative visionary George Lucas, and once Spielberg, Lynch, and Cronenberg passed, the cheapest director he could find, comes a film that had to live up to impossibly high expectations, and said, screw it, we're making a kids movie full of burp gags, slapstick comedy, and Boba Fett going out like Wile E. Coyote. In a finale that's almost silly enough to make you question why your identity is so tied to a soap opera about space wizards. That's it. I'm a Trekkie now.
What does God need with a starship?
Tim. Oh, I didn't do that.
Never mind. All your favorite heroes have returned. Like Luke, who's grown from naive farm boy to goth Catholic priest. Who was already so
Shut up,
over
Brad.
Star Wars, they had him frozen in case he didn't bother to show up. Leia, who's
Right.
suddenly Luke's sister.
I know. Somehow.
Cut back to the kiss.
You have? Well, that makes
I
this
figured.
extra weird then. Plus, an all-new
That's
cast
how
of
she knew.
memorable characters, like, her. Salacious Crumb's kind of fun. And, Gronk?
That never made sense to
Sure,
me.
why not? Before there was Jar Jar, the object of fans' blind rage was the Ewoks, a race of cuddly creatures inspired by puppy dogs, bear cubs, and toy sales, who Lucas loved so much they got 2 spin-off movies. 2. That discerning fans hated because there's no way the mighty Empire would struggle against a smaller, poorly armed force.
Dead.
What do you think this is? Vietnam? Afghanistan? Little Big Horn? The American Revolution? The Maori? Ethiopia? Afghanistan? Again? Set aside a special place in hell for Jedi Special Edition that not only adds the same bad CG as the other 2, but tons of crap that's only there to remind you of the
Plants vs.
prequels, like Gungans. Extra nose. Hayden Christensen's and the
Hayden
criminal erasure of
Christensen's.
the Yub song.
Yub nub.
An entire generation will grow up with that awful Jedi Rocks number, but never know the brilliance of John Williams' Yub Nub song. For shame. So return to Star Wars with Return of the Jedi, a movie that joins Godfather 3, Terminator 3, and Spider-Man 3 in the tradition of third installments that turned an epic about the fate of the galaxy into the Skywalker family drama, cemented the kid-friendly tone of the franchise, and set up Star Wars' long-running love affair with the plot of A New Hope.
The battle station.
The Emperor's new battle station. The droid control ship.
Star Killer Base.
Death Star.
We're starting our attack run.
Stay alert. We could run out of space real fast.
How do you run out of space?
We're going in.
Especially real fast.
Yeah, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Shut up.
Three stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
Yep, it did. Starring My Mini-Coracle Romance.
I've got a bored feeling about this.
Sonny D. Williams.
Sonny D.
Ballsack Forceman. Captain Fetzma. Sister. Ghost Dad. Harmonica Solo. Teddy Suxman.
There you go.
Nayin,
This little guy.
Okay.
Parliament Trunkadelic.
There you
And Slug Life. Star Wars 3. Episode 6 out of 9. Possibly 12.
No,
Just
God.
a word of advice to Daisy Ridley. If you see Lucas talking to the wardrobe department, run. Today's episode is brought to you by T-Mobile.
I don't think I have much to add to that outside of when we saw with the burp gag they were doing, and it's outside of Jabba's palace. The toad gets whatever the old mouse or whatever, and it burp. I always thought growing up that was a part of the special edition. It's an original in the movie.
Okay.
I for whatever reason, I think it was trauma.
You didn't want it today. That's what it was.
So, I guess next time we'll do the prequels. Yeah, I don't have anything clever.
Neither did they.
Oh, you hear that? You hear that? Chase got you. Sensibi.
Oh.
So we'll catch you guys next time.